Finance Minister Tito Mboweni is expected to address key issues on Friday on how the 500 billion rand stimulus package announced by President Cyril Ramaphosa will be financed. In the meantime, small businesses have been grappling with how to access funding during the lockdown. 70 billion rand worth of tax reprieve has been granted. So to get a glimpse of how this reprieve is going to benefit SMMEs, we have Khomotso Tefo, who is accountant for SMMEs at Lethiba Consulting. Good afternoon to you and welcome.
Good afternoon, Colin, and your viewers. How are you?
Well, we're doing fine, thank you. Tell us a little bit about what kind of reprieve have SMMEs been given in light of what some don't understand regarding how they can access this funding?
Colin, I must really commend government for really trying their best in this time that we find ourselves in. They have really gone out of their way to try and make reprieves available for small businesses. What they've actually done is, with regards to taxes, SARS has said to small businesses they can actually defer 35% of their pay-as-you-earn liabilities. So this means that they can delay the payments that they need to make on pay-as-you-earn to a later stage. They've really tried not to create a blanket approach to the tax requirements of these companies. And SARS has been really open to say companies can actually approach them on a case-by-case basis to say, let us negotiate where is it that you find yourself and what kind of deferrals would you like to receive. So if you find yourself saying, I've got this VAT liability I need to pay, but I can't afford it at the moment, you can have a conversation with SARS, prove to SARS how this has impacted your business, and SARS will be willing to look at your case to say, how can we actually try and simplify things for you? So it's really a matter of saying, let us approach whoever it is that you need to make payments to and say, what is it that we can do to delay these payments?
So from an accounting perspective and looking at the balance sheets of SMMEs, how are they looking?
Colin, it's really been a tough time for a lot of companies. I mean, we know in the country where we are, small businesses are already facing trouble without having to go through this COVID. A lot of businesses have really taken a big hiding. Look, there's one or two businesses here where their businesses are fortunate that their supplies are actually required at this time, where you find security companies where they're actually doing better. You find a lot of telecommunication companies where their services are really required, more groceries and so on. But the majority of businesses have really taken a big hiding. This crisis is such a black swan that no one could have really prepared for it and be ready for it. So we find ourselves in a space where entrepreneurs really need to think of their feet. They really need to be agile. They need to use this time of lockdown to say, what is it that we can do to survive this? What is it that we can do post this? What other industries can you look at if it means that you need to move out of the industry that you're in? Because we really find ourselves in difficult times, and a lot of businesses have really taken a hiding. Like, I mean, we're talking now to say SARS is putting a hold on the payments that need to be made on case-by-case basis. But this is not meaning that you're not supposed to do your submissions. So whatever submissions you needed to do, you still need to do that. So maybe this is the time companies need to use this time to say, let us ensure we catch up on our admin. Let us ensure that all the submissions that we need to do are done and they are up to date, and use this time as effectively as possible. But most importantly, plan the way forward to say, what is it that you are going to do to ensure that you survive this pandemic that we find ourselves in? After the lockdown is over, it cannot be business as usual. Things will definitely need to change. And we as entrepreneurs, and especially small businesses, we need to be ready for that.
So for the funding that's available, are they able to access it? And when they approach you, generally, what difficulties are they experiencing in terms of accessing the website or filling up their details?
We have been told that funding is available, but the biggest challenge with the funding that's available is, Colin, the information doesn't filter down to the administrators of this funding. What I mean is our president will announce one thing that's available, but the information getting down to the people who are actually supposed to administer this funding, it does not trickle down to those people, or it takes a little bit too long. So we are told we need to apply for funding at SMMEs.gov.za. We've got no one who we can actually contact on that side to explain to us, how does this funding work? What do we need to do? The submissions that are made once the application form is submitted and so on, you do not receive any feedback or any progress update to say how far are the applications, have they processed them, do they require more information? And should you get stuck anywhere, there isn't really anyone who's available to assist you in that aspect. That's been one of the biggest challenges, where the information doesn't really trigger down to the administrators. I think it would have made things so much better had they ensure that communication gets to those people who are going to administer these funds, to ensure that they can assist, especially small companies. I mean, we as Lethiba Consulting help small companies with whatever accounting and tax-related admin that they require. But it is so difficult when we don't have information to give them as to where is this thing stuck, how long is the process going to take, where even when we speak to these companies, the CFAs who are administering this, we are not getting accurate information because they are as much in the dark as we are. So if that communication could be improved, then these fundings that are made available, we can say they are really helpful to the small businesses.
Very important information you're raising there, and we will definitely follow up with government with regards to the difficulties that SMMEs find in terms of trying to access the website and doing processing the applications. But thank you very much for making time to speak to us. Khomotso Tefo is an accountant for small and medium enterprises at Lethiba Consulting. We're going to take a break. I'll be back in the next hour with more business.